Hi and good day everyone. My name is Fatiha, and for this assignment I have conducted a translation analysis of John Green's Paper Town and its Malay version translated by Shas Johar called Pekan-Pekan Kertas. So firstly, why I chose this novel, because this novel holds a special place in my heart, because I remember it was one of the first proper English novel I read when I was 13. So revisiting it now as a 21-year-old studying English for my degree allowed me to see the text through a completely different lens, as now that I've grown into a more mature person, gained more experience and wiser compared to myself 8 years ago. So when I read it again now, it brings that nostalgic feelings and allows me to connect with the characters even better now. Because 8 years ago, I was just reading it for the sake of reading a book. So for this reflection, I'm going to talk about the challenge. So the biggest challenge I faced was that all my chosen examples seemed to overlap. So I kept struggling to classify or categorize my examples, because I chose three strategies, which are substitution, omission, and footnotes. And they all are basically just different ways of achieving dynamic equivalence. So I initially felt like I was doing it wrong if an example can fit into multiple categories. However, after consultation, after consulting, I learned that it's all in the explanation. So the strategy is the how, but the dynamic equivalence is the why. That's why dynamic equivalence is the principle in translation. So it wasn't about finding the perfect category, but rather about articulating, justifying how my chosen examples fit into that specific category. So that's what the most important thing lah in the analysis. And for lesson, I've learned that translation isn't just about getting it right. Like, it's about making decision. For example, when I analyze the omission strategy, which is in my report, it's the second examples of omission strategy in the phrase paper thin and paper frail. In Malay, it's just kertas nipis dan rapuh. It doesn't repeat the paper. Like, the kertas is only mentioned once. So I learned that sometimes it's less is more to maintain the rhythm and the beauty of the language, even though it is being repeated in the source language. But if it doesn't affect, like, negatively impact the the development of the text, so we don't have to repeat it again, so because it's gonna be quite lengthy and wordy. And lastly, this project taught me that being a good translator is also about being a good communicator, because you have to bridge the two worlds. Because when you learn a language or read some, like, a material written in a certain language, it's not just about the language, it's also about the values, tradition, or norms that are reflected in the community that speak the language, in which in this case American. And Malays, we have different values and different tradition and different ways of describing things. So it can be a challenging task, but also a rewarding experience that deepen my appreciation for both language and the art of storytelling. And I think that's all from me. Thank you.